Gentlemen, I have to start off this show with this because it is the greatest event in the history of the world. This fall, the monsters are coming back together for Monster Mash cereal, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Monster cereal. Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry,
Will it
Yummy
be a
Mummy.
Graveyard Smash?
It will be a Graveyard Smash because even Fruit Brute is going to be there.
No Fruit Brute.
And Casey's already complaining because it's not, I guess, a true assembly of all the different cereals. It's artificially berry flavored frosted cereal with monster marshmallows.
So basically, what I'm getting from that and from the pictures that we've seen is that it's Boo Berry and Frankenberry mixed together with representations of all the others in marshmallow form. First of all, President Count Chocula won the best monster election years ago when they poorly timed an election theme thing with Trump getting elected. And let me tell you, Chocula won, and I voted every goddamn day for that man trying to win prizes. And now he's made a lowly marshmallow with two cereals that can't even be put back on the shelves. Now, if they couple this with actually re-releasing Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute again, I'd be pretty down though, because Yummy Mummy, it's delicious. Only good thing a mummy's ever done. Only good thing.
The box art looks fantastic though, and I'm really excited that they are celebrating the 50th anniversary. I do have a question though. What would they do after this? They're probably not going to do anything. They're probably just going to put out old Monster Mash boxes the year after this. But if they added a monster to the monster cereal line, should it be the Invisible Man or like the Creature? I'm just curious.
I would love it if it was the Invisible Man and there was just nothing on the box,
nothing in the box.
An empty space where the mascot is supposed to be.
You just call it Invisible Brand.
Yeah, just a photo of empty shelves and be like, "We just got our first stock of Invisible Man cereal."
I know everyone wants Creature cereal. Everyone wants Creature cereal. That's like the easy
with real
answer.
Swamp water.
Yes, because it works. It actually works pretty well with the Ninja Turtles pie, saying "fresh from the sewer" to you. So swamp might be okay. They had a lot of Shrek tied-in swamp food. Maybe it could happen. Lime flavored might be all right. Maybe. I mean, I've had worse.
Or apple, maybe apple.
Apple Jacks are tremendous. One of the best cereals out there.
They are. I need to get some Apple Jacks.
Yeah. Don't taste like apples though, but it's fine. It's completely fine.
They do taste like Jacks.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to another miserable podcast, Horror Decomposed, the pumpkin-scented intersection of horror and pop culture. The boys are back in town today for the first time in I don't know when. Chris, Casey, how you doing, guys? Chris, especially, you've been MIA for ever. You were here for us briefly for what was it, the Godzilla episode, and then you had to leave again. I guess it's really just been one episode you've been gone, but you were gone a couple episodes before that. But this is the first time all three of us have been together. And it's the usual thing.
Yeah, it turns out that being in grad school, making a movie, and teaching at the exact same time are not great combinations.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Or if you like sleep, I wouldn't recommend it.
I'd say teaching and doing anything, just in general, bad idea. Just
give up your life.
Adulting isn't fun, everybody. Just stay a kid. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, don't follow us. Don't look at us and say, "Hey, we got a couple professors here. Let's look at these guys and follow their path." No. Take it easy. Play video games.
We're all big kids here, and Chris just broke out a hat that needs to be talked about.
Yes.
Top. Bend down, Chris. That sounded wrong.
Bend over.
Is that like your Robert Rodriguez
This is my director's hat. I wear this when I'm directing,
Nice.
I
Every
dig it, dude. I dig it,
every
man.
director needs a good hat.
and I point so that they can take pictures of it.
Yeah, a big congratulations to Chris, by the way, who just debuted his short a couple weeks ago, right
Yeah.
for school.
Yeah, it was. We were the only comedy at the UCA Film Festival. Everything else was serious, melodramatic, stuff that 18-year-olds like to make.
Oh,
Yeah.
Reminiscent of trying to be the Safdie brothers. It's
I have
great.
seen it. It's absolutely fantastic. So I hope you're able to put it online at some point if you haven't yet, and you can share that link on this show.
Yes, I want to see it. I want to see it.
It's
It will be a
fantastic.
secret link for the audience only.
Awesome. And my name is Zach. As usual, I always forget to introduce myself. But what are we talking about today, guys? There's been so many like horror news and headlines. And yes, I know Spiral from the Book of Saw is out this weekend. Army of the Dead is out in like limited theaters this weekend. But we're not going to talk about those movies. What are we, a horror podcast? No, but really, this is just going to be a pretty chill episode. We have a lot of trailers we want to talk about. We have some Don't Cross the Streams, which we're going to get to in just a second. And we got some
this, horror potpourri. If it was a Jeopardy category.
Yeah, we got I got some news we're going to mention, and then a video game review by Mr.
And this is that strong potpourri, the kind that you put in your bathroom because it can cut through the scent of shit. That's how good our show is. We cut through the scent of shit. That's our shirt. Another miserable podcast cuts through the scent of shit. Yes.
I had the option to go see Army of the Dead in a theater, and I opted to see Nobody instead. And I do not regret it because Nobody was fucking awesome.
No, Nobody's great. You made a you made a wise decision there.
I kind of made the choice to just stay the fuck home and not go to the movies. I was having like a pretty horrible allergic reaction yesterday. Good times. Feel great today though, and I cannot wait to talk to you about Resident Evil 8 Village. But I am going to wait because that's not the first segment.
No, the first segment is Don't Cross the Streams.
Ah! Cross the stream.
Oh, and then the trap opens. Just
All right, so Chris and I both watched a movie independently, but we watched the same movie. And we're going to share our thoughts on it. So Chris, you want to tell us about
I texted you. I was like, oh, I'm getting home at 8:30 tonight and I'm going to have like just downtime. I should watch a movie. And I looked up Just Watch what was out. And I saw that Saint Maud was now streaming, and I hadn't thought about that movie for probably a year since it originally came out or was delayed or something.
It came out, I think, originally released maybe limited on like the very end of January, and then it was on demand in February on the 12th, but you had to pay for it. Now it's free on Amazon Prime if you're a subscriber, which is how we both watched it.
Yeah, I wonder if the pandemic really fed into this movie being forgotten about, because it definitely feels like when A24 puts out a horror movie, despite the quality, it's going to get some hype from people just because it's an A24 horror movie.
Is it A24?
This movie,
A24. This is
I don't know. Fuck, man. It's early. I go back and forth. I can't think. It's A24.
I've always said A24.
We'll say A24.
It is A dos Cuatro.
Yes.
So what did you think, Chris?
Oh man. Yeah, like I was saying, like I wonder if the pandemic like either played into this movie being forgotten about, or it's possible it's just not that great. I mean, some people did fucking love this movie. Some people like Mark Kermode went fucking apeshit over this movie.
It's been pretty well received.
Yeah, I think fairly well. I don't think it's gotten quite the enormous acclaim that something like Hereditary or The Witch got.
No,
necessarily.
Good feedback.
And I don't think it really deserves it, because I feel like this is a much well, it's definitely a lower key movie, but I think it's also a little underwhelming.
I agree. It felt like toned down Ari Aster. Like if you took out like Ari Aster Hereditary and took out like all the really shocking scenes, and you're just kind of left with like this atmosphere kind of. That's
shots of a dollhouse for 20 hours.
Or somebody really loved The Witch and was like, "Ooh, let's do something like that." or I'm gonna do something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's-
didn't
that
quite
always
have the
goes-
skill for it.
That always goes so well. I'm getting flashbacks to the Wrong Turn remake now. Great. This sounds wonderful.
I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than Chris. It's just it's not going to be for everybody. It's again, it's very slow burn affair.
Yeah.
Again, heavy on atmosphere, but there's just not a lot of memorable like set pieces or anything like that. It's about this kind of nurse. She's like newly converted, very like devout, I think Roman Catholic, and she like has left this hospital and gets like kind of a private like hospice sort of care position for this dancer actress in like her late 40s who has stage 4 lymphoma, like spinal lymphoma, so she's dying.
Yeah.
And so there's like a voiceover throughout the film, and it's weird. It has like I love the aesthetic of the movie. It's like very kind of late 60s, early 70s. It looks like a period piece, but then they introduce technology, like they're mentioning cell phones. Like I thought it was a period piece initially, and then you find out, oh no, it's not. It just looks like one.
I guess people still smoke in some bars, so it was like, oh, they're smoking in this place. I guess it's a period piece.
And
then I'm like, oh wait,
now
no, it's not.
you're evoking Rob Zombie Halloween now, and that's not a good thing either.
It's definitely not that same tone. Yeah, I
Good.
think the main problem I had with the movie is that we start off with this woman, and all we really know about her past is that she had like a traumatic experience where she tried to save somebody and she fucking killed them. So there's a question of whether or not she should be even nursing. She changed her name, so that's like suspect right there. And then I'm assuming like after this experience, she had like a deeply religious sort of conversion where she became extremely, very fundamentalist type of Catholic.
Yeah,
where
like
she's just
she feels God within her and has like almost like orgasms when she just feels him inside her.
Yes,
but
very, very pious at the same time.
Yeah,
not
if
really,
you remember, like,
not really a hippie Christian.
It makes me think of that scene in Midsummer where they're like all like hooing like in that circle, but not as nowhere near as entertaining as that. It's more just kind of like she's just like overcome with this ecstasy.
Yeah, and I feel like they try to go for like sort of a Nightcrawler experience where it's like this character is despicable, but you're compelled by their kind of insanity or their despicableness. And I don't think it really completely works with this character. I mostly just was like annoyed by her and kind of was hoping it would the terrible things would escalate even faster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to really spoil too much. Not that there's really that much to spoil. Like she just develops a quick obsession with this woman she's taken care of and feels like she needs to, I guess, save her soul. And she sees that there's some woman coming over that's kind of having having sex with her, and she doesn't like it, and so she tries to kind of interfere. And I won't say anything else that happens, but it's just kind of there's nothing that memorable in this film in terms of like when you think of an Ari Aster movie, there's lots of crazy ass scenes. Whether it's your thing or not, there's a lot of crazy ass shit that happens. There really isn't here. Until maybe the very final act. There's some really beautiful shots. I mean, I think this is like a gorgeously shot film. I love the kind of, I think it takes place in Scarborough, which initially confused me because you see like this Coney Island like amusement arcade.
I thought we were in America.
But it's not Coney Island. It's not Coney Island. That's in England and Scarsborough. Scarsborough.
No, Coney Island is in New York.
Zach. No.
Coney Island's in New Jersey.
It's not Coney Island. It's an arcade called Coney Island that's in England. It's not actual Coney Island.
I thought you meant like the theme park. Okay, I have not seen this movie.
Separate from that, there is I looked it up. There is like a small town in Ireland called Coney Island, which is confusing. But this is not the same. This is an amusement arcade in Scarsborough, Britain, called Coney Island. Anyway. Yeah, it's just it's a movie about this pious nurse and her kind of spiral into
you mean pious,
whatever her spiral into insanity.
She pees a lot.
I mean, I think the lead Morvid Clark is really fantastic. She does a great job. She was in Crawl, apparently the alligator movie, which is great, but she was not the lead. She was, I guess, the sister that probably had like a 5-minute scene in it or something.
I don't remember anyone else other than like the crackheads that got eaten.
And the dad. No, there was like a phone call. It was brief. I didn't remember it either, but she was in it. That was the most notable thing I noticed on her resume.
There's one good jump scare in this movie. Like one good
Mhm.
sequence where I was like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
freaky.
Yeah.
And that's perfect.
It's just it's if you're really into psychological horror, if I think if you like The Witch, you might enjoy this. There are shades of like Misery here, but it really doesn't go that route as much as I would have liked it to. It would have been, I think, better if it went more of a Misery route.
Yeah, there are scenes where like the music feels like it's directly ripping off The Witch, and like one scene involving a character speaking off screen in another language that feels like a direct ripoff of The Witch as well.
But yeah,
So
again,
hard
it's
not to
really
think about that movie.
it's super well made. It's really well acted. I kind of waffled back and forth on this just because I did think it was really well directed, but there's just not that much that happens. So, what was your final rating, Chris?
I think I gave it 2.5 simply because I was just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna. After it was, especially, I was kind of expecting it to go sort of full nuts at the ending, and it kind of just left me with like a, yeah, I'm just not really gonna remember this movie. I feel like
Just a wet fart.
yeah.
My rating was 3 stars. I waffled back and forth because I really was like, it's very well made. It's like there
well
aren't a
shot.
ton of,
I don't know if it's well made.
Well, it's really, I don't know.
Competently made.
It was well
Yeah,
acted.
yeah.
I saw what they were trying to do. The story was kind of boring. Like it is what it is.
I can say this because nobody is going to listen to this. Nobody that I worked with is going to listen to this. But having a good DP can really, really make a difference between one movie to the next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was Saint Maud. So.
Ugh.
I wasn't
Saint
bad.
Maud.
It's not a bad movie. It's just.
I hope they
It's just
put
not that
that on. I hope they put part of that review on their box for the Blu-ray. Wet fart, another miserable podcast.
I did want to mention one other thing on Don't Cross the Streams if you guys have anything else we can get into that as well.
Cool.
I watched an early found footage film recently called The McPherson Tape.
Oh, that's really early. Yeah.
Like one of the earliest found footage movies ever made from like 89. If you've not heard of this movie, it's directed by Dean Alioto, who also plays the cameraman in the movie and like the main voiceover of it.
What did you end up finding this on?
It's on Shudder now. You can watch it on Shudder. It's awesome.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh, cool.
It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
It follows
I like
this
the poster.
family. Yeah, it follows this family, and it's they're like I think the cameraman's niece's like 5th birthday, and so they're celebrating this birthday. It's him and his 2 brothers and one of the brothers' girlfriends and one of the brothers' wives, and then his mom, who is my favorite character. Anyway, like the lights go out at one point. They go to check the circuit breakers. They see like a weird light overhead, and they go to check it out, and they see aliens. Like these aliens look terrible. They're like in rubber suits, but it's part of the charm.
Okay, like this movie. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry for stealing some of your reviews, Zach, but this movie is all of the cool scenes from Signs, but like as a movie.
Yeah. It's similar. It's similar to Signs. I'm a big fan of Signs. I know some people don't like it.
Probably holds up a little bit better because I bet none of it's CGI.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very not CGI.
CGI and Signs does not hold up.
Considering how early, I mean, this was pre Blair Witch. This was pre a lot of shit. So like, it's pretty impressive what Dean, Alioto, and this is like before, you had cell phones and YouTube era stuff when it was a lot easier to make, amateur movies like this. So like, not that this was amateur, it was pretty well done for what it is. The acting is not awful. I think some of the characters, the mom in particular, are really great. It feels, this movie, I think when it came out, I don't remember if it was broadcast or like people thought it was real. And there's like, it starts like most found footage movies, like this is a real event, yada, yada, yada,
I think by Orson Welles. Fuck, we've been had again.
Yeah. I mean, and he ended up remaking it for cable called Alien Abduction Incident in Lake County, which I've heard is even a little better than this one, than the original McPherson Tape, which I still need to see. But yeah, I think it's really, if you're into found footage movies, definitely check this out. It's really worth the watch. I think my rating was 2.5 stars just because not a ton happens, but it's not very long. It's like an hour long. But I enjoyed it. I probably enjoyed this more than Saint Maud. Just from like a filmmaking perspective, there wasn't, too much that was going on. But I mean, I think I enjoyed this more than Saint Maud. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the McPherson Tape. It's also known as UFO Abduction, which is nice and generic. But look up the McPherson Tape.
Yeah, not as good. Not as good title.
Yeah.
But hey, it's on Shudder, so you'll be able to find it under the real title.
Yeah.
They're usually
Or you can wait till
pretty
Joe
good
Bob
with
does
that.
it.
Yeah, you can wait. I don't know. Like it's Okay, so they have Lake Mungo on there, and it would be a great double feature with Lake Mungo.
Mhm. Yeah.
But Lake Mungo is also not the vibe Joe Bob would ever want to go to. That movie is way too depressing
Yeah.
to be like a good time watch. I don't know. Like Lake Mungo's great. Like I just watched it again recently, so I guess this is my
Very haunting. Yeah,
don't-
it's
Yeah,
Process
Lake,
Dreams entry.
Lake Mungo, I legitimately had to stop watching because I was in my apartment alone at night, and I was like, I'm legitimately getting creeped out, and I don't want to keep watching this by myself.
it's
at nighttime.
It's a
I wanna wait
freaky
for the
movie.
daytime.
It's a freaky movie.
It's one that I've been like meaning to watch for a while because it was recommended by Jay from Sludge Central, who is the person who was a champion of Trick or Treat and got me to watch that movie, and now it's one of my favorite movies. So I'm like, dude, if he recommended this movie, it's got to be pretty good, and it's pretty great.
I've been on a found footage kick lately. I watched something else called The Borderlands. I think the alternate title is Final Prayer. It's another found footage flick. I think it's British or Scottish or something.
Nothing to do with the game.
It's about like two people. They're like sent by the Vatican to investigate this church. This tape come out of like a baptism, and weird like stuff happens at this baptism. Like where in this church, some like an altar starts to move, like kind of paranormal activity. So they go and investigate it, and the church thinks it was a miracle, and it was like Jesus, and it was not Jesus. Spoiler.
Could it be Satan?
But I'm not going to get into a full review of that. But it was pretty entertaining. The ending is really unique, and I'll just leave it at that. But if you're looking for another interesting found footage movie, again, well acted, yeah.
Oh God,
that's on. I think Tubi, maybe. Yeah.
I saw it scrolling past either Tubi or Amazon Prime. It's on one of the two.
I would watch the McPherson tape first, but
And Lake Mungo.
Yeah, but the Borderlands is not bad. It's some people really really like it, so it's yeah.
I gotta say,
I have a question for you guys because I started watching something this morning, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna like fully dive in just yet. Spiral has just come out in theaters. I noted that most of the Saw movies are all on HBO Max. So I started rewatching the first Saw.
Don't do that. Oh, the first one's good.
I have not seen.
First one's
not seen since probably 2008.
I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Yeah, but I'm thoroughly into it and thoroughly enjoying it. Kind of going like, do I want to rewatch like the series before Spiral?
Oh, you'll
probably
get to
not,
a point.
But we'll see how this goes.
I'll give you until about 3. Then you'll just be like,
I definitely watched. I think 3 was when I was like, okay, I don't really care anymore. And then I think I skipped 4 in their original releases. I think I skipped 4, and then I think I saw part 5 in the theater, and was pretty confused for the most part.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. It's a series that everyone thinks I would be a fan of that I'm really not. I don't know. Just not into it. It's like, cool, man. Yeah, you got some traps and gags. The first one was great, though. Awesome
Marilyn Manson music video aesthetic.
Yeah.
See, the first one was more of like a psychological horror film, like, and the torture was more implied than shown.
Yeah. Well, it's a very like low key kind of independent movie.
That's why it's great. It obviously very, they use their budget really well. And that's what I enjoyed about it. And as the sequels just kind of devolved into this more gratuitous, gore and showing like all these ridiculous traps.
I should be on board for, and I'm just kind of like,
I just like gore when it's more fun, and I don't want to say lighthearted, but like when it's you're seeing like people in agony and torture, like I don't enjoy that as much. I mean, I can watch anything, but like outside of real shit,
when the focus is making you uncomfortable, and the point is to make.
But when it's like,
sort of
it's not my thing, Faces of Horror, which they're remaking apparently, not really my thing. But like, I mean, for Saw, the first one's great. The second one is fun. The third one, the fourth one, which I barely remember, was just average. And I don't know if I've seen 3D, not much of it. And I never saw Jigsaw, so.
Which is like the most universally panned one.
Yeah, I don't remember which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't seen. That's how much I don't like.
I did see the opening sequence from Spiral, which is a dude who's like in a trap with like his tongue like in this trap.
Yeah,
and he's in like a subway tunnel.
I gotta say that scene was pretty good.
Well, there's there's Saw 3, but then there's also a Saw 3D,
which is
which
like
is not
7.
Saw 3.
Wait, isn't that, I think
No.
It
that's, I think
should
that's
be
5,
Saw
right?
3.
Isn't that
5
Saw
or
5?
6.
No,
God,
I think it's like 7.
How many are there?
8.
Fuck if I
I
know.
think.
We should
8
know
and
this.
then-
We're a horror
8
podcast.
and then Spiral.
Yeah, hey, we're a horror podcast that likes what we like. Okay, you're not gonna hear me go in depth about the Scream movies or Saw. I'm sorry.
That's what you have me for. I love Scream movies, so I'll go full into depth into the Scream movies.
You want to know the most minute character in Nightmare on Elm Street 3? I'm your guy. Okay.
We're gonna have a really in-depth Scream retrospective for me at
There-
least when Scream 5 comes out.
Yeah, so there was Saw 6, Saw 7 was Saw 3D, and then I think there was Jigsaw. So shit, there's a lot of them. I didn't realize there was like more than the Paranormal Activity franchise, which they're doing a new Paranormal Activity that might come out at the end of this year, I think, on streaming, which is interesting. I didn't know that was
They're
happening.
desperate.
And they
Reaching
fucked
back into
up
back into the well.
they really fucked up not making it follow the marked ones instead. That movie was great.
I get a kick out of that series, but we'll see what they do with it, and I'll reserve judgment until I find out more about it. Anything else for Don't Cross the Streams before we go to Casey's video game review?
No. I'm 100% ready for this. My God.
All right, Casey, take it away.
Resident Evil.
Okay, so wow. Not a lot of horror games get released right now. There's games with like horror themes and horror backdrops, but there hasn't been a lot of horror related gaming. And Resident Evil 8 Village came out, and I promptly beat it in a weekend because it's short as shit. And but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's actually like pretty great. It was like playing a series of horror movies because it's very divided in the tone of the game and how things kind of go, and it makes it pretty interesting. So you're the guy from Resident Evil 7, Ethan, who survived a bunch of like hillbilly buttfuck zombies, right, Zach? You're playing that one.
Yeah, I'm playing Resident Evil 7. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I've not beat it yet. I don't tend to just like steamroll through my games. I just don't have time to right now, but I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those games where like they decided to go back to the roots and make it more horrific, and it's less zombies and more Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of thing. Well, Resident Evil Village leans back into the zombies, but they're not zombies this time. They're actually like variants of werewolves. They're called Lycans. They kind of look like Jaws from the James Bond movies, actually.
Yeah.
Like they look like someone with acromegaly.
They weren't zombies in Resident Evil 4 either, which is the most like popular in the series. They were like plague villagers or something.
Yeah,
Like they weren't
yeah.
really zombies.
They said a lot of bad words in Spanish. It was pretty funny. Like you'd shoot them and they go, mierda! That means shit. Okay, so you have your daughter, your wife murdered in front of you, your daughter kidnapped, and you're dropped into a village without knowing what the fuck is going on. Once you're in this village, you fight through some zombies, and it becomes very, very apparent very quickly. This isn't really a spoiler because it's in kind of the advertising that there's a cult at work, and they have all kinds of strange creatures that are bosses. Okay. So the strange creatures that are bosses are pretty insane. Some cool designs. If you have a pulse and have been on the internet recently, Lady Dimitrescu is probably the one that you've seen in memes constantly. She's the 10-foot tall vampire lady that everyone's in love with right now on the internet.
Yeah.
She's actually like a really minor boss. She's the first boss that you fight, and then the game switches, and the game switches in tone like with each boss. So okay, you might think this is a little spoilery. If you really want to avoid spoiler stuff, I'm just going to kind of describe how some of the bosses are to you, like their areas. I'm not going to go in depth with story stuff. I'm not going to go in depth with like anything that's like a surprise. Okay, so second boss that you fight is this doll maker, and they borrow a lot from PT in this. If you don't know PT, It is the unreleased horror demo. Well, the demo was released, but for an unreleased game made by Hideo Kojima featuring Norman Reedus, it was going to be a new Silent Hills game. It was going to be Silent Hills, plural. And it didn't happen because Kojima had the falling out with Konami and left. And so they stole some of the hallway stuff from that, like almost verbatim, like even the furniture's in the same place, the phone, like all that stuff. You're just like, oh, I played this before. But they added like 10 million creepy dolls and a very creepy monster chasing you around that I will not spoil, but I do want to tell the listeners to let it kill you at least once because it eats you exactly like Penis Freddy in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and I very much appreciated the reference. Okay. The next boss is this hunchback dude that has a giant fish monster that fights for him. It actually has very Jaws vibes for this level because you're fighting, you're walking around all of these like planks and different kinds of like broken docks and stuff like that, and the monster's taking chunks out of it, and maybe you if you're too slow. It really reminds me of like Universal Studios tour Jaws when he actually used to pull the dock away from you. He doesn't really do it anymore and tilt you into the water, which is kind of disappointing. But yeah, it had kind of a Jaws vibe to it, a little more supernatural than that, but kind of there. And then you go to Heisenberg, okay? He's not making meth.
I was like, Bryan Cranston is in this?
He's actually an old guy that looks kind of like Richard Stanley, like he dresses like him with the glasses and the hat and everything.
Richard Stanley.
And his boss area is this giant munitions factory that's kind of hardware inspired. And apparently, I didn't know this because I haven't seen Frankenstein's Army, but it stole creature designs verbatim from Frankenstein's Army.
Yeah,
they're kind of pissed.
That was disappointing. I felt bad for them.
Yeah, and looking at the images, there's a lawsuit there, I think.
But on the same token, now I want to watch Frankenstein's Army because the monster designs are awesome.
Yeah, same, dude. Like I never saw that movie. It used to be one that was always on.
That movie got like lots of critical praise when it came out, and I just never saw it for some reason.
Yeah, the designs look great. I was like, oh man, how have I not seen this?
It came out during the time where I'm like, I don't want to watch any new horror movies.
I guarantee that will be covered on a future edition of Don't Cross the Streams.
Yeah. I would like
to. Or when we focus on Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we did a Frankenstein episode of Pop Culture, but I didn't. I could have covered that there. I didn't think I came across it.
Honestly, if this this might help.
We could definitely do a part 2, though. Yeah.
This might help the filmmakers then, you know?
Yeah.
It's a new thing. But yeah, the monster designs are pretty cool. Then the game takes like a weird turn that kind of brings you towards the end of the game. I do got to say that Heisenberg's boss fight, it's fucking awesome. And the whole first area with the giant vampire lady and her vampire daughters that can turn into bees. Yeah, that's a thing. Fucking amazing. It lags a little in the middle when you're with Fishboy, but
always lags with Fishboy.
Yeah, the whole creepy doll area, despite ripping off PT, is a fucking masterpiece and should be a must play for anyone that likes horror. Video games or not.
I need to play this.
Dude, I would say just get the PS4 version at this point. But I got it on PS5. It was amazing. And I have to tell the audience, like, this is really, really something that you want to play with 3D sound enabled headphones. I use the Sony Pulse headphones. It was crazy, dude. Like, if you hear something to the left of you, something to the left of you is going to kill you. There's all this crazy atmosphere trying to set you up for jump scares, like hearing moaning and grinding in other rooms that you know you're going to have to go to. That made it sound like people are fucking. No, I don't mean that kind of grinding or moaning. But yeah, you're making your way.
It's like, is this is Society, Resident Evil Society?
You hear some shit going on. You know, every once in a while you'll be walking in a nice quiet house and you hear an extra set of footsteps and you're like, whoa, hold up. This isn't good. And then it's a giant vampire lady trying to kill you, whose hand turns into Freddy Krueger blades. Good times. Yeah,
all the time.
it's pretty fun stuff. Shout out to the big giant fat blob like kind of vendor that you buy stuff from as well. He's creepy as shit, but I love him. His name's the Baron. And it's just an interesting, like, they've kind of got parts of the game that feel like each of the previous Resident Evil games, but they're all combined into like 4 really distinct, almost like mini movies of sections. And I've never felt like so many different things were joined together in a Resident Evil game. And it becomes even more apparent after you beat the bosses and you're going towards the end sequence, because stuff gets really different then too. But I don't want to spoil that at all. Just know that there's a big couple of changes and a lot of fake outs for the ending. You never know when it's going to end. Stay after the credits. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I thoroughly loved it. It's just short. So if you feel weird about spending $70 for the PS5 version of a game that you can beat in like, I did it in 8 hours, but I got lost in the munitions factory for like an hour. I was not having a good time on that level.
I think, I mean, I don't know how the length compares to Resident Evil 7, but that's taken me, I've had several playthroughs of it, and I think I'm probably near the end, but like, it still feels like I at least have an act left. So like,
yeah, I've heard 10 to 12 for 7, so it's shorter than 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but most Resident Evil games can be beaten in like 6 hours. You just don't, because you're dying a million times and fucking up puzzles and all that. That's a problem I have with this game, is that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of danger. You actually feel like you have more of a chance dying from the random lichen guys than you do some of the bosses, because it feels like some of the boss stuff might be a little bit on rails and trying to get you to like the next transformation of the boss. That said, I died like 5 times fighting the last boss.
Your description kind of reminds me of, did you play the game, the PS2 game Dark Watch? I think that was the name.
No.
It was basically like Van Helsing, but like it was like a first person action horror shooter. It was a good game. I remember getting that years ago. But yeah, so RE8 Village, Resident Evil 8 Village.
Dude, I gotta say though, like, if this becomes a VR title, it's going to be one of the greatest experiences in gaming. Because 7 was a VR title. This one doesn't have VR support.
Yeah, I'm not playing 7 in VR because I'm waiting to get the next VR headset.
Because he's scared. Yeah, we're both waiting for the new version of PSVR to come out before buying one, because they've done it. But this doesn't even have support for anything yet. So I wonder if it's going to be an update or a double dip or something like that. Because there are portions of the game where you're like, this is like theme park ride shit that should be in VR and would be amazing. And where you feel like you're almost on a motion simulator. And it's just like, yeah, I would really, really enjoy it if I was playing this in VR. It would scare the shit out of me. And I gotta say, I'm pretty much immune to Resident Evil jump scares. There's one in this game that got me pretty good. And it's funny because a friend of the show and sometimes guest Kevin is playing it as well. And he texted me and said that same jump scare got him. And I'm like, okay, cool. It got me too.
Yeah. Resident Evil 7 has some great jump scares. All right, let's get to something else before Chris falls asleep.
All right, let's go for it.
I'm just imagining. I'm trying to remember the best bits from the commentary from the first Resident Evil movie, which is one of the funniest damn commentaries.
The first Resident Evil movie. That one's enjoyable.
I gotta say, Paul.
The commentary is even better.
Paul, who gives a shit, Anderson, look, you made the better Mortal Kombat movie, my friend. Hats off to you. You didn't even put your wife in that one.
It's just funny because the whole commentary, he's like trying to talk about serious elements of the movie, and his wife Mila Jovovich just keeps interrupting him, being like, nobody cares about that shit. You just saw my nipple. That's
pretty great.
That zombie's fucking crazy. Look at that guy in the background.
All right, guys. A lot of horror movie trailers have released over the last few months, and we have not talked about really any of them. So I've got about 5 here.
Okay.
So let's dig into them. Let's get into like some of the ones that were released earlier. I don't think we ever talked. Did we ever talk about the new Conjuring trailer? The Conjuring, the Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh no,
I mean, the trailer that came out
Not the
like
trailer.
it came out, I think, a few weeks ago. But
I
don't know if we ever
didn't
talked about it.
feel anything from this trailer. Like I was already gonna see the movie, but it's just kind of like whatever right now. don't
Oh,
know.
I thought it looked awesome.
I mean, it looks
man.
like it looks like a Conjuring trailer.
Yeah, I mean, like I was already on board. It's not swaying me in any way.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the franchise, especially Part Two, which is one of my favorite horror movies of the last decade or so. But this, I'm interested because it is part of a part like courtroom case, and I hope they limit those sections because courtrooms in a horror movie is never my favorite thing. So, but
Not a fan of the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Not a fan of Ghostbusters 2.
or the courtroom scene in the Wrong Turn reboot. Jesus Christ.
I just love that this trailer gives a shout out to waterbeds,
Yeah.
which everyone in my family had when I was growing up.
But I still don't
Who murdered him?
I
Who
still don't
crushed his head?
understand this trend, and the new Venom movie does this too, of getting rid of the number and just adding a subtitle, even though it's a sequel. So instead of The Conjuring 3,
man.
The Devil Made
Are
Me
we
Do
gonna
It.
are
it's
we
The
gonna talk the
Conjuring,
Venom
Devil Made Me Do
trailer?
It.
We gonna talk the Venom trailer?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just those. I mean, that's been a thing for like
I don't
a couple
understand
years
it. Why
now.
are you getting rid of the number?
I don't know. It's probably someone in a marketing meeting was like, if we trick people into not knowing that this is a part 3, it adds so many dollars.
In the
to the
VHS
box office.
the VHS era, sequels did better than other movies. So there are a lot of movies with fake sequel numbers. Like I'm pretty sure Surf 2 that's coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, which hopefully I'll have like at the beginning of next month. Fingers crossed. I did order it. There's no Surf 1.
Mhm.
Good times. Star Worms 2, Attack of the Pleasure Pods. No Star Worms 1. No Star Worms 1.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm super excited about the next Conjuring film. So I love the cast. I love the franchise. So
It definitely looks like it's just leaning more into the craziness and the almost like action elements of this.
yeah,
It almost
we'll
feels
see
like a
how
fucking Mission Impossible
we'll
movie.
see how. I mean,
Yeah.
Conjuring 2 threw a lot at you, but it was still creepy, and I love those kind of horror
Yeah.
experiences. Insidious kind of became that as well, where it's just they're just throwing shit at you, but you're having fun at a horror movie, and that's what I love about them.
Yeah, it's like the climax. The shit just goes crazy.
I feel like maybe Annabelle Comes Home might have got some of the throw shit at you out of their system. Like, I'm feeling like these movies are becoming backdoor pilots, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And they're absolutely
yeah.
backdoor
It's all about
pilots.
setting up the next thing.
Yeah, that Cricket. When's the Crooked Man coming
I don't
out?
know. I haven't heard much about that. I'm guessing it'll come out at some
He
point.
got an
but-
action figure
Yeah.
recently. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. But no, I think, and the great thing about The Conjuring 2 was it was able to balance all that kind of that tension with like really sweet moments, and I hope they are able to add that element in this third entry in the series. So
Those spin-offs never do well though. That's the thing. Is that,
Well, the Nun
nobody
did.
gave a shit about La Llorona.
Yeah, but the Nun did great. And the Nun was kind of awesome. The first, that was a fun movie. I think we're getting the Nun 2 coming up soon, also, aren't we?
Ari, oh yeah, the Nun was okay. Parts of it were cool.
I forgot that Casey was the only person alive I know who liked the Nun.
Oh, I loved it. It was a Hammer film. It was so fun.
I didn't mind it. I just I wish like if the whole movie had been the third act, it would have been great. Anyway,
spitting blood in people's faces.
So yeah, let's talk about the Green Knight trailer, guys. Directed by David Lowery, who just has such a mix of a resume, man. I mean, a great resume, but he does everything. I mean, he did Pete's Dragon. He's doing the new Peter Pan adaptation.
Yeah,
He's
The Ghost
doing
Story.
The Ghost Story, and he's doing the Green Knight, which is coming out July 30th. This movie, the trailers really harken back to me to like 80s fantasy movies. Like it really reminds me of like the Neverending Story or Legend or something in a way.
I
But
don't
like
know.
a little-
Wake me up when it reminds you of Excalibur, because that movie's weird as shit.
But a lot darker though. Definitely like a darker twist on it.
I mean, there's some dark stuff in the Neverending Story, but yeah, I mean, like it's heavier, I would say maybe.
Well, this doesn't look like it's aimed towards kids, I don't think.
I don't know if the Never-Ending Story was aimed towards kids either, man.
I
Did you
mean, it
see
was
that?
marketed towards kids.
Did you
There's a
see that
kid-
Artex
there's kids
death
as the
scene,
main
man?
character.
that Artex dying was freaking traumatic.
The 80s was a different time where like they
Yeah.
would market scary ass shit
Yeah,
to
his
kids.
80s was hardcore, man.
They fucking killed Optimus Prime in the Transformers movie,
Yeah.
dog. And
Yeah.
Parents got pissed though. So
But yeah, this movie will forever have a twinge of pain for it for me because I was super excited to go see this at South by Southwest over a year ago.
Oh man, I'm
right before
sorry.
the pandemic hit. So, but yeah, I'm
and this
excited.
this
to
is
talk about this movie.
based on Arthurian legend, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, based off Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a poem,
Mhm.
which I have not seen.
Sir Gawain,
Or
one of the
not
knights
read,
of the
I should
round.
say.
Sir Gawain is one of the knights of the Round Table, Zach.
I assumed, but
This looks
yeah,
awesome. I was just gonna say I saw somebody on Twitter say it's gonna be a hot Dev Patel summer.
yeah, he looks great, and I'm happy to see him continuing to get work. He's a great actor, and yeah, this looks awesome. I'm just excited to see like a throwback to like the '80s kind of fantasy era, which this really feels like to me, and I'm just interested to see how well it does, and yeah, way to go A24, and I like that they're branched out a little bit, and yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about The Night House real quick because yeah, I'm excited about this one too.
Yeah, from Searchlight Pictures, directed by David Bruckner, and his last movie was The Signal, which I don't know if I've seen The Signal. It's coming out August 20th. This looks great. It reminds me kind of of Invisible Man a bit from last year, a little different.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, except it's actually a ghost story, and the dude is dead apparently. But
Whoa!
Maybe.
Spoiler.
rather than being
Maybe.
invisible, it's Invisible Man. It's invisible.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like this could be interpreted in a couple of different ways.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
I feel like the trailer is really kind of tossing things around to where this could go several different ways to where. But yeah, the moment in this trailer where it kind of reveals, this woman, her husband has died, and she starts to find out all the shit about him that she didn't know. And then she basically like finds a house in the woods that he like secretly built that is like a replica of their house, but it's like backwards. Everything is like backwards.
Mm,
Yeah, it looks fucking insane. So,
yeah.
and Rebecca Hall is awesome, and I can't wait to just watch a movie with her in it where she's just like unraveling spooky shit.
Again, simple concept, but looks like it's done really well. Another one to look forward to. Do you have to go, Chris, or can we?
I have to go. Yeah.
All right, see you later, dude.
Chris has
Gotta poop out.
there's like construction going on for he is, so he has to get out of there before it hits. So one day we will get you for a full episode. It was great to have you back even for this short period. You will be back with us next episode. So, all right, my friend, take it easy and stay safe.
All right,
Yes,
later, guys. Don't talk about any cool shit while I'm gone.
All right, so our lovely Chris has left us, Casey. It's just us two now.
You know what I want to talk about, Zach? Ooh, hold on. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Hold on. Ooh. What could it be? What could it be? Yes, it's time for maximum carnage, motherfuckers. because let's not get us copyright claim. All right, so maximum carnage, brother. All right, so yeah, dude, I love the character Carnage. And Carnage. I read comics in the 90s. Wow, so did everyone else that read comics in the 90s. Yeah, he's gonna be in this movie. It's gonna be awesome. I still haven't even seen the first Venom. I didn't give a shit.
Me neither. Yeah. So we're talking about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, directed by Andy Serkis. Did he direct the first Venom?
I don't fucking know. I haven't even seen it. But let me tell you, I love Carnage, so I will see this despite them already coming out and saying this will also have no ties to the MCU or Spider-Man, just like the last one. Because Morbius will. So that's where it gets a little confusing.
But Woody Harrelson is Carnage, which just brilliant. Just way to go
Cletus
there.
Cassidy. Let me tell you, what a great character. I also have to recommend the Carnage Lego head. That's a nice little head of Carnage. It's on my shelf. It's too far away for me to get right now, but we're not even a video podcast anyway. So
There's a Venom one too, isn't there?
There is. That came out second, so I haven't done that one yet. But the Carnage one's pretty great. It was fairly fun to build. The teeth are a pain in the ass, though. I do gotta say. But yeah, this looks awesome because this is like the murderous, evil character. I didn't like all the yuck shit with Venom at the beginning of this trailer, but
the humor. I think the humor's fun. It looks like they're going more into that than the trailer for the first movie was less about the humor. It was kind of
the problem is there's a fine line between Carnage and the Joker, and if you get too yuck, he starts to become the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how like parts of this felt a little like Deadpool-y, this trailer, but like I don't think it's gonna be that meta. I mean, I love Deadpool, especially the first one, but I think J.K. Simmons is gonna play J. Jonah Jameson in this as well, if I read that correctly. Which hell yeah. So. Yeah, this is coming out September 24th of this year. So I need to watch the first one. I don't know why I haven't watched the first one. It was pretty well received, I think, by fans at least.
Yeah, it just didn't appeal to me. I think Sony makes bad movies. If they have Marvel helping them, they do a little better. By that I mean the Spider-Man movies, but
this looks a little better to me than the first one, but I mean, Tom Hardy has always seemed like a great choice for Venom, and I think the Venom effects, Venom himself looks great. So, and he looked great in the first one. So I'm excited to see this. I'm really glad we're finally getting Carnage on the big screen. Has that ever happened, like in a live action?
No, they hinted towards it at the end of Spider-Man 3, but that ruined everything, that movie.
Yeah.
And they were going the route of the Ultimate Comics where Carnage was Kurt Connors, which is kind of
all right, let me talk about this last trailer, and then I have some just random news bits to talk to you about. The Forever Purge. The Forever Purge got a trailer. This is coming July 2nd, 4th of July weekend, as it should. It's directed by Everardo Gout. I like the Purge series. I don't love it. The first one, when it came out, I think I probably said this on the podcast before, but just a brilliant concept, for a horror film, like having, one day a year where violence or crime is, legal.
Yeah.
And the villain in that movie is a lot of fun. They don't do enough with it in the first movie, but the villain
they don't do enough with it in any of the movies, man. Like, okay, I sum up the Purge series as it would be cool if, okay?
Yeah.
So every time we watch a Purge movie, we say, oh, it'd be cool if they did this. It'd be cool if they did this. It'd be cool if they did this. And everyone does that, like every person. So how come the writers can't? They never do the cool shit that could be extrapolated from this idea. They always do it too small of a scale, and like they're saving something for the next one. Well, now there is no next one, and this doesn't look like it's as off the rails as it should be.
There's going to be a next one. I guarantee you there's going to be a next one at some point. But The Purge Anarchy, the sequel, I think is probably the best in the series. And then the third one, what was Election Year, there was some good elements to it. There's
that one was pretty good.
Yeah. I think Elizabeth Mitchell was in that.
I still haven't seen First Purge.
The first Purge wasn't my favorite. I don't think Frank Grillo is not in that one. I'd have to watch it again. I just didn't enjoy it as much as the first three. And this one, I just think conceptually doesn't make much sense for a Purge movie, because it's like, what if the Purge didn't end? Well, then it's not the Purge.
Yeah, it's just a Mad Max movie at this point. Yeah,
no, basically it's just reality.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The masks look cool. That was pretty much my main takeaway from this trailer.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be the final Purge at some point as well. because they haven't done that.
No, but they are calling this the final movie right now. So
right now,
yeah,
the last Paranormal Activity is supposed to be the last Paranormal Activity. The last Saw was supposed to be the last Saw. You know,
dude, like two Paranormal Activities before the last one should have been the last Paranormal.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter was not the final chapter, obviously.
No, but Freddy's Dead. That was.
Well, no, they did New Nightmare.
That doesn't count. It's not the same continuity.
Okay. Yeah, so Forever Purge, we'll see it. We'll probably talk about it. I'm not like that stoked about it. It doesn't look like terrible. It just conceptually it doesn't intrigue me very much, you know. And it feels like they're taking it further away from like the horror of the roots of the first one and the second one as well to more of an action concept, which the first Purge felt more like to me.
This looks like that video game Rage. You know, like Rage and
Rage 2. Yeah, I see
what
you're saying.
It looks like that.
A little more ragey, yeah. You know, I think there's always interesting visuals to look at in the Purge series, which I enjoy. You know, and at Halloween Horror Nights, they've always done like Purge scare zones and mazes, and those are well executed and fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they pull out. But this just looks it's like less heavy on the neon. It is more like Mad Max-y. Visually, not quite as stimulating from the trailers from what I've seen.
It's because if they had the neon, it would remind people of Rage too much. That game's very neon.
I mean, they were doing the neon before. Anyway.
They were. I don't know about this one, dude.
So I just have some, before we end things here, I have some random kind of horror news that I just figured we could talk about. So this one is just super random, but I just thought it was hilarious, so I'm just going to mention it. But Bring It On is getting a horror sequel called Bring It On Halloween, because why not? I don't know why they like.
This isn't a Disney movie.
No, but like
no.
The plot is held down by restrictive rules, and embattled cheerleading squad seeks the freedom of a creepy closed school gym to practice for regionals. But when members of the squad start to disappear, the cheerleaders must unmask their assailant to save themselves.
Yeah, dude. This is a good idea, getting non-horror stuff and turning it into horror franchises. I'd like to pitch the horror version of just one of the guys, where it's a cross between that and Sleepaway Camp. If you know, you know.
Let's do an Encino Man spinoff. Let's make it, Brendan Fraser is turn him into like Frankenstein.
Dude, Brendan Fraser would be the best Frankenstein.
Brendan Fraser, yeah, he's great. I mean, he played kind of not Frankenstein, but he was what was in that the superhero series he was in? He was like a robot or something.
Yeah. In I'm blanking on the name. It's not Challengers of the Unknown.
No, let me look it up.
Fuck.
Well, hold on, guys.
Damn it.
We didn't watch the show. Doom Patrol. There you go.
Doom Patrol. Yes.
And I think his next role, he was just signed on to play like a 500-pound man in a movie, which I'm like, don't do that to Brendan Fraser.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. If he could be like that, the Resident Evil vendor guy. Yes. Baron Fraser. Yes.
So anyway, that was a side note on a little aside on Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser's awesome. Watch his movies.
Yeah, especially Encino Man.
Anyway, so another piece. So yeah, Bring It On Halloween. I think it can, if it's like super meta, I think it can be a lot of fun. I don't know why it needs to be a Bring It On movie necessarily, but like
this is gonna be garbage ass shit, Zach. Come on, let's not pretend.
I had this next piece of news for Chris specifically because he's a big fan of Robert Eggers, but The North Band got a 2022 release date. It is a Viking revenge movie. I like Vikings. I like revenge.
I hate every Viking movie I've ever watched. TV show's great.
But you like Vikings.
I do like Vikings. The TV show's tremendous.
The very generic synopsis says it's an epic revenge thriller that explores how far a Viking prince will go to seek justice for his murdered father. All right. Next piece of news that I'm very excited about. Zombie Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol are headed to Switch next month, people. June 29th.
Yeah, and it's not new. It's just a re-release. Look, man, real talk. I already got that shit on my SNES Mini. I know how to use a computer. You know what I'm saying? Ghoul Patrol fucking sucks.
No, it's not good. But,
Yeah, just buy Zombies Ate My Neighbors. The game.
but you're never gonna beat Zombies Ate My Neighbors either. That game is like 100 levels. I don't think I've gotten past like level 5. I didn't no idea it was that big, which makes me excited.
I got pretty far on the Genesis version, I thought, and then it turned out I was only like halfway. It was
I had no idea the game was that big, which is just awesome. So I'm really excited to have it on my Switch. I wish I was getting it before our trip, Casey, but it's not coming out until after that, which is bullshit.
Hey man, it's all good. We'll have real arcades. So yeah, Zach, I'm gonna do this on the air.
Okay.
We should make an episode, the road trip episode.
Yeah, I'm down.
And I don't want to bring recording equipment is the problem.
We'll figure it out.
We can make it sound like shit, or we can just discuss it when we get back.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We're planning on going to a monster museum. We're planning on going to a Mega Mart. We'll see what actually ends up happening, but we're planning on it.
And we're planning on doing Twilight Zone mini golf, which just sounds tremendous. So I'm really
planning on eating at a rotating sushi bar, which may ruin all of the other plans.
Yeah, we may be like 800 pounds when we come back, but
Yeah, dude.
We'll
and then I'll be the Baron from Resident Evil and show you them feats.
And life goal accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to point out a game that I just found out about called Demons Ate My Neighbors, which is a spiritual successor to Zombie Ate My Neighbors, which is coming out soon. Casey, you need to look this up. Look up Demons Ate My Neighbors. It looks pretty cool.
Spiritual successor. Okay, dude. I have a spiritual successor that no one will make, and this just makes me mad. I want to make a spiritual successor to Bad Dudes called Rad Guys with a Z.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then when you win, you go, I'm rad. Yeah. Fuck yeah. And this one, you don't save the president. Come on. No. Because who knows who will be president by the time the game comes out.
I have not played Bad Dudes, but...
Could you imagine making a game where you had to save the president and then, like, Trump gets elected? And then you're just like, oh, fuck.
Okay, one last bit of news, just because I think this is just a lot of fun. So there's an Instagram account and a Twitter account. It's called Texas Chainpaw Massacre. What this account is they link to, like, if you see a horror movie and there's like an animal in that horror movie, they link to adoption pages with animals that look like these animals from horror movies. So if you see Nanook in The Lost Boys, there's an animal that you can adopt that looks just like Nanook. Yeah. So it's a little silly thing, but I think it's a lot of fun. I noticed one of the pages on this is the Garfield looking cat from Trick or Treat. They found a cat that looks just like that you can adopt.
Also, there's a website called Does the Dog Die? That if you want to see if a dog dies in a movie before you watch it or not, you can search the movie. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but the cat from Reanimator, you can get a cat that looks like the one from Reanimator before it reanimates.
I already have a cat that acts like that.
So this is just a really fun thing. But yeah, go adopt some animals, Go adopt a pet.
Yeah, dude. Go get that dog that kind of died in Friday the 13th Part 2, or did it?
If you could adopt any animal from a horror movie, Casey, what would it be?
Oh, fucking Cujo, bro. Shit.
You want Cujo?
Dude, yeah. Like,
what if he turns on you? What if he turns on you?
Just don't get him around any bats,
I mean, does Gizmo count as a pet? I guess he does, right?
I mean, that's literally what he is in the movie.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got to go Gizmo, man. But
Psycho Gorman is my answer.
I guess that counts. He's gonna destroy the world, but
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Okay. That's the main news I have. There is a great interview with Steven Chiodo on, I think it's Slasher Podcast Radio, just about the depressing state of the next entry in the Killer Clown series, which just bummed me out. But
yeah, if you want to be really sad,
basically how they have great ideas for it, but they can't get anyone to actually do it. And I think Sci-Fi was going to do it, but they were only giving them like $2 million, which was their budget for the original. And they're like, no, we don't want to do that again. We need more money. And now I think
Sweet Banana Splits budget.
And I think Disney owns it. It's under Disney's banner, and like Disney isn't doing anything with it because they're Disney. So,
here, check it out. Okay, you call it Killer Clowns with a C instead of a K. Completely different movie.
I have faith that it will get made one day, and they'll get to do it with all the great practical effects. So, Just
that makes one of us.
send some positive energy towards the Chiodo brothers, guys. They are legends. And watch Alien Christmas if you did not see that on Netflix. Fantastic short.
Yeah, and also watch Land of the Lost. Nowhere, because no one's fucking putting up. Where's their Land of the Lost, bro? I want to watch that shit. It ruled.
Is there anything else? I think that's it. This is a really just kind of fun, laid back episode. We did do a poll recently on Twitter. So if you're following us on Twitter, which you can find us, twitter.com/MPOSofficial, or just look up Another Miserable Podcast. We did a poll for our next retrospective. You guys voted. We're celebrating Vincent Price this month, the man, the myth, the merchant of menace, because it is birthday. It is his birthday at the end of May. So we figured what better time to celebrate one of the most iconic men in horror. So
what day is his birthday, Zach?
I believe it's May 27th. I could be
Okay.
wrong.
I'm just making sure it's not my mom's birthday.
It'll be around when this episode comes out. So Vincent Price. So we each chose a movie.
May 27th.
Yeah, Chris chose Madhouse. Casey chose House of Usher, the Edgar Allan Poe story. And I chose The Abominable Dr. Phibes. We were trying to go not like the most obvious Vincent Price movies, so not like House of Wax
but we did
House on Haunted Hill.
We went for the most obvious, the most obvious one.
We went for the next most obvious, but not like the one that like a layperson maybe would know Vincent Price for.
So if you want to follow along with us, this isn't available anywhere, so watch it on YouTube. It's on there.
Yeah.
And the YouTube version is fucking great looking, by the way. Abominable Dr. Phibes. Did you get a chance to see it yet?
Oh,
on YouTube?
I saw it a while. I haven't seen the YouTube version. I saw the movie a while ago.
It's a really good print. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome! That's good. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about it. So the Abominable Dr. Phibes one, thank you to everyone that participated. Really excited to talk about it. And if you've listened to the show for a while, you'll know that Vincent Price is a good friend of ours. He's actually Chris's roommate, I think, along with Boris Karloff. So hopefully he will be joining us for that episode. I would have asked Chris, but he had to leave early. So hopefully Vincent will be joining us for that retrospective.
Yeah, but, Vincent's busy driving him in a car with a window with a picture of Vincent Price driving printed on the window.
Yeah, he's going to be treating us to some dishwasher baked salmon, which I'm excited about. And so look forward to our retrospective on The Abominable Dr. Phibes. I have not seen the sequel to Dr. Phibes, but I've heard that is great as well. So,
but have you had the vitamins, the monster vitamins, Mother? See, my Vincent Price isn't as good. Mother, you will love these vitamins, Mother. Oh God, if that's not the cold open to the episode, I quit right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, if you can't get out to see Spiral this weekend, watch The Abominable Dr. Phibes, because there would not be a Spiral without The Abominable Dr. Phibes.
That makes no sense.
No.
Hey, you know what? Abominable Dr. Phibes has the cutest fruit bats ever.
Mm-hmm.
That you will ever see, and fruit bats are fucking adorable, but they're vampire bats in this movie, which makes the scene hilarious, but we'll talk about it more.
What makes no sense? I need to know.
Wait.
I was saying the Saw series wouldn't exist without The Abominable Dr. Phibes. It wouldn't exist without The Abominable Dr. Phibes. That's very much what Dr. Phibes is, except like classier. And better.
I mean, okay, I see the parallels between the frog mask and the blah mask. But I wish Dr. Phibes had some Saw payoffs, even though I shit on Saw a little bit. We'll talk about it.
Phibes has some good payoffs. You're just a gore hound.
Look, man, if you tease a crushed head and you fuck me up, we've talked about this before. Do not fuck the audience on a crushed head.
Phibes is an incredible movie. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about it. So look forward to that. Casey, where can they find you on social media, man?
I'm at Lucha Gringo on Twitter. I'm at Lucha Gringo on Letterboxd. I'm at Lucha Gringo on the PlayStation Network. Should you want to play some games with me, I'll fucking destroy you at Fortnite. I won 3 battle royals in one day yesterday. And that's after not winning one all season. I don't know. I had the magic. I've won 4 total, and this is solo, by the way. And I won 3 yesterday. It was fucking nuts. I was on like a real hot streak. I think I'm gonna go pro. This podcast is now a Fortnite podcast.
Dude, you got to come to round 1 with me, man. It finally opened in Burbank. The arcade is now open too. It looks amazing. So,
I miss the heyday of Vegas arcades. We could be doing some good shit there.
Oh, we will. I will. I'm just saying round one is legit. It's legit. Anyway, you can follow our Twitter account, which I think I already plugged it, but I will plug it again. Twitter.com/MPUSofficial, or look up another Miserable Podcast, because that URL will be changing soon, as soon as we kind of unleash our new artwork and everything and like officially usher in phase 2. We also have a new theme song coming along. It's a remix of our current one, but it sounds amazing. It probably won't be in this episode, but most likely the next one after that. Anyway, okay. So you can follow my personal Twitter account, twitter.com/earth2zach, earth the number 2 Zach. You can also find me on Letterboxd under the same URL, and Instagram, and PS4, PlayStation. If you want to add me there, go for it.
Yep.
And Chris, you can follow Chris, twitter.com/Chris Pistol, KRISPISTOLE. He's also on Letterboxd under the same thing. He does great Letterboxd reviews. Please give him a follow.
Oh, I gotta say, if you're on PSN sending us friend requests, put MPOS listener, or we're gonna think you're like some spammer weirdo trying to be friends with us.
Yeah.
I get spammer weirdos that go straight to real name friend request. This person wants to be your close friend.
I think I did that accidentally initially with your friend Meeflo, but it was like an accident. I didn't know what it was when I did it, and I was like, "Oh, he's probably thinks I'm a weird."
No, he was cool. Yeah, he's cool with that.
I think I canceled it and did a regular one. I don't know. We're friends now. I don't remember what happened, but yeah, I didn't realize. Anyway, I'll probably delete that part of my.
No, leave it on there. Because I do not want people sending me weird friend requests. Let's go to the mall, Zach.
Let's go to the mall. Casey, do you have any E3 predictions before we end this? I know there's going to be another episode before E3, but I figured I'd ask you.
Lackluster and boring.
Oh man, what a buzzkill! I'm excited about E3. Just give me some Breath of the Wild 2. Give me some Starfield, even though it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. That's disappointing.
Fuck Starfield, man. No. I don't want it to be good now. I really don't.
I will get an Xbox exclusively for that. Come on. It's fine. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe. I know mask restrictions are they're up in the air right now, but if you're fully vaccinated, do what you want to do. I'm still going to wear a mask for a little bit just because, but yeah, stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see you guys for another Miserable retrospective at the end of this month.